showing you the basic items you need in making a 3D applique. First, you need any fabric of your choice, be it Ankara, be it lace. As far as it has patterns you need that you can cut out from, you're good to go. You would also need, this is a crinoline mesh. Some people call it crinoline net, some call it steep net, depends on what it is called in your area. Some even call this bobbin net. I bought this 1,000 naira per yard. It looks like organza, but it is other than organza, and it has a bouncing effect as well. You will need a wire works. People call this copper wire. You get this in any tailoring store. Just show them the picture. You would also need a plier. You need this in cutting your wire works. You need a M gum. It comes in two color, white and black. Get the one you prefer. You also need a soldering iron. It is very important for this project. You also need a hot glue with the candle. It is very, very important. You also need a scissors for this project as well. The scissors is very, very important. So basically, these are the items we are going to be using for this project. There are other items used in creating 3D, but for this project, these are the ones we will be using. So I encourage each and every one of us to get our project as fast as 2D applique. First and first, you can use any fabric of your choice, be it lace, be it Ankara, be it organza, be it net, whatever fabric, as long as it has a pattern on it, you're good to go. So in this video, I would be making use of the lace fabric, and here I am tracing out my pattern from my lace fabric. So once I am done doing that, I'll be making use of one of the patterns, and I would be applying hemming gum to the wrong side of the fabric. Please ensure that when you are doing this, you apply your hemming gum to every areas, every corners of your pattern. So here I am covering my pattern with a crinoline mesh, and I am also covering with a paper. I am doing this to protect the surface of my iron as well as protecting the crinoline mesh. So here I am ironing. Ensure you iron perfectly well. So after ironing, I am cutting out my pattern, but please, I would advise you cut out using a soldering iron. I am using a scissors here because my power is low and my soldering iron is not as hot as it should be. So ensure you trace out carefully, or you cut out your pattern carefully and neatly. So this is my 2D pattern, looking structured, looking neat, and looking more handy. Comparing this to an ordinary fabric, yes, comparing it to an ordinary fabric, you find out that the ordinary one is lightweight. Comparing it to the 2D has a structure already. So with the way it is, you can even use the 2D to design your dress. You can use it on your clothes, whatever design you want. And most importantly, it is a base for the 3D. If you don't have this, you can create a 3D. So in my next video, I'll be showing you how to create it out of the 2D applique. As I said previously, the 2D applique is a base for the 3D applique. But aside being a base for the 3D applique, it can also be used as a flat surface design. Instead of just applying your patterns directly on your outfit, you can make it go through this process of 2D before applying it to your outfit. This process gives your outfit a nice finishing. And I told you that in creating a 3D applique, the first thing you need to do is you need to create a 2D applique. The 2D applique is a base for the 3D applique. So here I am creating the 2D applique, following the same process just as I did in the previous video. You apply your hemming gum to the wrong side of your pattern, you cover with your crinoline mesh, then you iron and trim out. So once you're done, please, ironing is very, very important for this project. Iron your pattern as much as you can to prevent your crinoline mesh from pulling out from your pattern. So at this point, I would be using the copper wire or the wire work, whatever it is called. This is where your creativity lies. This is where you determine how you want your 3D applique to be. This is where you determine what effect you want your 3D to have. So at this point, I am measuring the points where I want the copper wire to be, and once I am done doing that, I would cut out the copper wire. Please, one thing I want you to note is you need to apply the copper wire in such a way that it is not revealing. People are not seeing what you have added to your pattern. So I advise that when you're applying the copper wire, you leave some inches above and below your pattern. You can leave 0.5 inch above and 0.5 inch below. So at this point, I am done cutting out the copper wire, and I'll be concealing the copper wire with a tool net. You need to cover your copper wire. You don't want people to know that it is wire you have added to your pattern, so you need to conceal it. So I'll be making use of the tool net. You can use any color of your choice depending on the pattern you're working with. If you're working with a red pattern, you can use a red net to cover it with the tool net. So this is a process I use. I find this method easy. Once you're done wrapping, just secure the up part and the down part of the copper wire with a thread, just like so. Just wrap it to secure it. I find this very, very easy. There are other methods you can use, but this is the method I use. So just do it neatly and carefully. So at this point, I am done wrapping all the copper wires and it is ready to be used. So you'll be using the hot glue at this point to secure the copper wire to the pattern. Please note that while using the hot glue, you don't need to add too much. A little is fine. So just a little. When you add too much, it might ruin your work. So at this point, I am arranging the copper wire, trying to look out for the best way to place it. And this is where your creativity comes in, just as I said initially. So once you finish applying, allow it to cool, and once it is cool, your 3D applique is ready. You can use this in whatever form you want to. You can turn it to any angle. So you can bend it today, you can make it straight tomorrow, you can twist it today, you can make it straight the next day, you can turn it into any shape of your choice. That is the beauty of the 3D. It has the ability to retain its original shape after going through whatever form, whatever shape. So finally, we have come to the end of the free class on how to make a 3D applique. This is just a tip of the iceberg. There are other methods, other skills, other professionals. So look at the 3D. You can turn it to any direction, any angle. You can turn it to any shape of your choice depending on what you want. It's all about your creativity. And I hope you found this